that we see the economy is still extremely strong.
My prediction is that work will be optional. Optional.
You study hard, you get a degree, you land an entry-level job, and you climb up the ranks.
It's likely to be one of the most challenging times in history for graduates to get a job today.
Scrolling through job listings, the advertisement can quite often read, entry-level, bachelor's degree required, 3 years experience needed, proficiency in 6 different programs preferable. And somehow, you're supposed to already know how to do the job you've never been given the chance to do. It sounds ridiculous, but there's an economic reason this keeps happening. The bottom rung of the career ladder is starting to disappear. Historically, companies expected junior workers to be inefficient. You weren't hired because you knew everything. You were hired because the company expected you to learn. Junior employees handled research, administration, data entry, first drafts, scheduling, documentation, customer support, routine office work. In exchange, they learned how the business actually worked. An entry-level salary wasn't just paying for your work, it was paying for your training. Hiring someone inexperienced carries costs beyond your salary. Recruitment, training, supervision, mistakes, management time, software, equipment, benefits, office costs. And the employee may leave once they're trained. From the company's perspective, why spend months teaching someone basic tasks if those tasks can be automated, outsourced, or absorbed by a smaller team? The problem isn't that beginners suddenly became less valuable. Training them became easier for companies to avoid. AI is particularly capable of assisting with many tasks historically assigned to junior white-collar workers. Summarizing, research assistance, basic coding, drafting, data processing, presentation creation, customer responses, administrative work. One experienced employee using AI may potentially perform some work that previously required junior assistance. AI doesn't have to replace an entire job to change the labor market. It only has to replace enough of the tasks that made that job worth creating. Companies still need senior accountants, analysts, developers, managers, consultants, lawyers, engineers. But those people don't appear magically. They begin as juniors. Companies want experienced workers while becoming less willing to create experienced workers. If AI removes the repetitive work beginners used to learn from, we haven't just automated tasks. We may have removed part of the training system that creates tomorrow's experts. And when the training ecosystem erodes, industries risk hollowing out their own future. The ladder still exists, but the first few rungs are missing. Without them, fewer people climb high enough to become tomorrow's specialists. If a company receives hundreds of applications, requiring experience becomes an easy filter. A job that might once have trained someone can gradually become 1 year required, then 2, then 3, while still being labeled entry-level. The entry-level job didn't necessarily disappear. The entry requirement moved upward, experience inflation. And when requirements rise, the applicant pool changes too. Instead of fresh graduates, companies attract candidates who already worked elsewhere. That makes the competition tougher, and the true beginner is quietly excluded before they even apply. Many routine junior tasks have already been outsourced, offshored, automated, centralized, converted to software, shifted to contractors. Companies became increasingly efficient at removing low-value repetitive work. Normally that's good economics. Higher productivity is desirable. But there can be an unintended consequence. The economy became better at eliminating beginner work without necessarily replacing beginner training. Young worker sees experience required, but to get experience, they need a job. To get the job, they need experience. This creates the familiar catch-22, and people respond by accumulating signals as a consequence. Degrees, certifications, internships, unpaid projects, freelance work, portfolio work, postgraduate qualifications. When companies stop providing the first step, workers have to manufacture the first step themselves. This isn't merely frustrating for graduates. It could eventually become a problem for companies themselves. Imagine an industry that spends 10 years hiring fewer juniors. Eventually, where do the mid-level workers come from? Where do future managers come from? Where do senior specialists come from? You can save money by shrinking the pipeline today and still create a skills shortage tomorrow. Individually, rational decisions can create collectively irrational outcomes. No, the entry point may simply change. Future workers may increasingly prove ability through apprenticeships, freelancing, internships, AI proficiency, projects, smaller companies, entrepreneurship, demonstrated skills. And AI itself may allow beginners to become productive faster. AI could simultaneously eliminate some entry-level work and make inexperienced workers capable of doing more valuable work sooner. The real danger isn't that every entry-level job disappears. It's that the first rung of the career ladder keeps moving higher. Companies still need experienced people, but experience has to start somewhere. And if nobody wants to pay for the learning, eventually everyone starts looking for workers, nobody trained. And industries may eventually be forced to rethink how they build talent pipelines, whether through new apprenticeship models, partnerships with universities, or redesign junior roles that focus less on routine tasks and more on accelerated skill development. Because without a deliberate way to create experience, the shortage of experienced workers becomes inevitable. And that's the economics of everyday life.